Countdown. 2 days, America goes to the voting booth. A new president will be elected. Back in a minute with Fox News Sunday's Chris Wallace on deck.
How's yours, Mom?
Our secret weapon is the American people who are saying enough is enough. I mean, I was here at a rally last night in Virginia. We had an overflow crowd that was bigger than some of the rallies that I've seen out on the campaign trail over the last several months.
We're going into Election Day playing offense, keeping them on defense with states like Arizona that we never played in before, not in either of the Obama elections. So we feel good when we're on offense. We think we're in good shape. And I think it's because voters around the country are really rejecting the divisive rhetoric that they've heard from Donald Trump.
And there was Indiana Governor Mike Pence, along with Clinton campaign chief strategist Joel Benenson, appearing on Fox News Sunday today, just 2 days before Election Day. Both sides now racing toward the finish line, trying to sway every last voter in key battleground states who may be still mulling over their presidential pick. Joining me right now to talk about the state of the race is Chris Wallace, anchor of Fox News Sunday. Chris, good to see you.
Good to be here.
Great interview. So it's funny to see each side tell their own narrative in terms of how it's going.
Spinning.
How do you think it's going?
Well, it certainly is tightened. There's no question about that. I think 2 weeks ago, it really did seem that Hillary Clinton was going to sail to a relatively easy victory. I think the FBI announcement by James Comey has had an impact. I think Republicans coming home has had an impact. Clinton has many more paths to 270 electoral votes than he does. But if he were to, he's got to win Florida, win Ohio, win North Carolina, flip a traditionally blue Democratic state. If he can do that, he's the next president.
Which is why he's going to the Rust Belt states today and tomorrow. He's going to be in Michigan. Interesting to see Hillary Clinton going to Michigan as well.
I couldn't agree more. That's something I asked Joel Benenson about. She was there on Friday. She's there again on Monday. The most precious commodity, as you know, Maria, in the final days of a campaign is the candidate's time, and the fact that she's in Michigan, a state that, for the entire campaign until like 3 days ago, we thought was off the board for Trump, not possible for him. The fact that she's there is interesting.
It was a Democratic state, obviously Dem leading state, but now she's pulling out the big guns. President Obama, she's also got going to Michigan. It shows you she's nervous about losing that area of the country, and Trump is doubling down on these Rust Belt states, saying, look, you haven't done that much better in the last 8 years. Trust me, appealing to their needs for a job.
Yeah, I mean, Trump always felt that there was his message about trade, about immigration, was a natural fit in places like Ohio and Michigan and Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. Ohio, it seems to have been. He seems comfortably ahead there. Pennsylvania and Michigan are still uphill climbs. He's behind in the polls in both of those states, and he's almost, there are different scenarios, but the easiest path to 270 for him is to take one of those states, and if he flips that, he can win.
People are not sure about Pennsylvania, so he can still win. It'll be harder without Pennsylvania, but that's a big one.
Well, right. But if he doesn't, that's one of the reasons I think he's pushing in Michigan as a kind of plan B. But interestingly enough, her big final campaign rally, Clinton's, is tomorrow night in Pennsylvania, and it's the entire Clinton family, including former President Bill, and the entire Obama family. I guess she goes on to North Carolina for there, but it's interesting because 2 weeks ago, as I say, it looked fairly comfortable for her, and now they're both they're both on offense and they're both on defense. She's also making an effort in places like Arizona and Georgia, which are typically Republican.
Yeah, that's a good point. They're having a big party, the pre-election party on Monday night in Pennsylvania, the whole Clinton clan. Let me ask you about this FBI investigation. Do you think it has moved the needle in terms of independence and where they're going to go, knowing now that she is under FBI investigation and they reopened it?
Well, if you believe the Fox News poll, 21% of independent voters say that they are less likely to vote for Clinton because of this. It seemed to have, just looking at the polls, it seemed to really have an impact in the first days after the announcement. It was a week ago Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in the polls. He was either ahead or it was a tie. She seems to have moved out to 2 or 3. I mean, we're still talking inside the margin of error, but the shock value seems to be wearing off a little bit. But of course, it does raise the possibility she could be the president-elect on Wednesday and still under criminal investigation by the FBI.
Right, which is what I was just talking to Congressman Trey Gowdy about, and Jeff Sessions as well. Real quick, in terms of what happens next and in terms of the GOP and their support. This morning we see Paul Ryan coming out saying, look, I'm ready to campaign with Donald Trump. Too little, too late? What do you think, Chris?
Well, in terms of the leaders, yes. In terms of the rank and file, it's important, and you do see Republicans. She always had an advantage. More Democrats supporting her than Republicans supporting him. That's disappearing. They're both getting pretty unified support from their own parties.
All right, we'll leave it there. Chris, we'll see you later on.
You bet.
Thank you so much. Be sure to tune in to Fox News Sunday today at 2 p.m. Eastern right here on the Fox News channel. Chris Wallace. A brand new poll out this morning shows one of the candidates pulling ahead. We will talk to Dana Perino and Chris Steyerwalt next as we look ahead right now on Sunday Morning Futures.